nate ku Baba TV program Ggwanga muka tuli kujimaliriza olwalero olwokuna tubana akanomero ka The Big Story ne Joseph Tamale Mirundi mutabani wa Yohana Mirundi ne Mole Namatovu era bwe tulina yewanula okubita mu bintu ebyendawulo okubikomentinga ndikwenda kubebaza mwena ababona program eno abala program ya Tamale Mirundi ngabe mujiyita program si ya Tamale Mirundi program ya Baba TV nange nimwe mujisa ya Tamale Mirundi ina program ajabuzik program naye mwebale comments zamwe abantu baba bogire ebintu Tamale Mirundi afuna obudde butono okusoma bemugera nenze mbifuna nembe mutegeeza anaga nti yawo annyonnyolo yaga nti omusajja abannyonnyola bulungi mutandise okutegeera ate najjukira bibamukole emabega n'atabuka musajja yabaaki kale ekyo dange ekirwanyisiza emyaka gyembadde gino 10 yagaana okwerabira bye bamukola emabega eyo simanyi lwaki musajja yabaaki atasonyiwa ate musajja mukatuliki tuli mu kisiibo kana namubuuza tuli mu kisiibo lwaki tosonyiwa bwebityo
what you don't know
bitta oluusi byebitera okutta system ino lewe tugenda okutambula tuli naye ndina kanda bongman kumpi ne Mirundi onyiridde nnyo mu bukadde okusinga.
That question was raised why doesn't this man not forget? A professor of psychology told them this man has a rare brain. It flashes back at what you did him 10 years ago. The professor of psychology told them that man has a rare brain that brings back what you did to him 10 years ago. And he told them, you are quarreling that the man always abuses you. The professor of psychology told them, how can a baby stop crying when yes, they have prolonged the war. Nabagamba tibotambula novuge motoka kusamukako gwekiro. You are not likely to knock down a student.
Okay. You use Tamale Mirundi. Bobo vuga motoka kyo tusobola kutomera student watu wali tugenda okutandika bwe tutyo. Wenda nonkule naye kyanyimirizano.
Tikine ensonga.
Ekyanyimiriza wano.
Bajoga abantu tikine ensonga. Tikine ensonga.
Kwagala kukuyoza. I want to congratulate you because bakuwa omulimu. Yakuwa nayenze n'omusajja simulaba naye mu mugamba abamulaba muwadde omulimu okubeera omuyuka w'omwogezi.
Muwozi musajja mugezi. Yakakola ebintu ebyo mu byotategeera. Muwozi yategeera twalina akagereddo bawakalikolako nti omusajja yayina engo ng'ayina embuzi n'amalagala. Yabitwala atya?
Engo, embuzi n'amalagala. Bwoleka embuzi n'engo, engo eri embuzi. Bwoleka embuzi n'amalagala, embuzi eri embuzi.
Muwozi yategeera I need and mwenda. N'atuteeka
embuzi n'amalagala.
Yes.
Ng'embuzi yeggwe mwenda ge malagala.
I knew him. He wanted both of us. Kakati bano ne balowooza nti bagenda kukifuniramu Kalugire ne Kiwanuka. Those ones have sabotaged me. Kalugire took his money omugagga omuzibu ezange n'aziremesa. Museveni zeyamba. Kyenkugambye nti sina sente zange nagenda nazo. Olutwala lwamukozese lwali nsanze. Naye banziremesa. This man must come to his ngwani. Kakati zina ekitegeera. This man needs all of us. Me and Mwenda. Do you see me fighting Mwenda?
No.
Yes.
You don't fight Mwenda. Mwalia. Mwenda mwalia.
Ati wali.
Kasoma lw'okulya ate mwogera.
Muhozi is not as arrogant as other people. Muhozi is not arrogant.
Yet in his tweets he seems to be more troublesome than other people.
He is responding to very irrational people. Abajozi. Abaniye ku bantu ne babanyala.
Nekati.
Akati nkubuulira embuga kiriwo ekiti. Ndi muhozi okuga sinna mulaba.
Nga musajja simulaba.
He was doubting. Oba nakkizo basijja kola.
Very diplomatic. Nize kumanyona.
Mugezi nnyo. Very diplomatic. Twafaanana nga bano abajozi abatuniaka abatalina na family mwe bava.
So are you going to serve?
Yes. And the fact that when I heard Muhozi rang me and he talked to me.
Finally.
I told him
You mean you are serious ku bintu bino nti abakwira na
I will take a responsibility for 3 issues. Yes. 1, you cannot make it somebody you don't want. I like you. And our relationship dates back. Mwimu mwe bintu biri historical. Abaminsani abakatoliki sekabaka Muteesa olubereberye yalwala gonorrhea. Kakati nga the only available remedy balyanga mamba nkalirire na muzuukizi. Tewaliwo medical gond PPF yali tannajja. Kakati those missionaries batambulanga n'eddagala lyabwe. And they had a system of bringing their drugs. Kati abaminsani abakatoliki ne bajja bakuba Muteesa eddagala empiso. You must know these are syringes. Ne empiso yedda wagirabako.
Ngeringa
bafumbanga mutwali
nga lulinga lukato
nga babagikukuba eyenzi kosobola ng'ositukawo yayina mpanvu bweti nga nnene. Kakati imagine eya 1885 yali efaanana etya.
Jesus Christ.
So bwe bagikuba Muteesa almost died, he collapsed. Kati abaminsani, the Anglican missionaries told Muteesa these people have injected you with poison. Kale olaba history amanya Musega yaga history does not repeat itself, but fools repeat the mistakes other fools made in the past. Nebesi yagasiza ba mukyala njuba nezizinga Museveni alwadde amambuluka. Kakati Mwanga n'abagoba mu Buganda. Ono their way nga bava mu Buganda. His Crown Prince Mwanga followed them. He sneaked out of the Rubiri. N'abaga nti I know. This is propaganda. This is malice from your rivals. Nga Anglican missionaries balowooza nti abakatoliki bwe bavaawo bajja kutwala abasomi. Abakatoliki baagana beerondamu omusaserdoti. Mwanga n'abagamba, I know this is malice. You cannot kill my father. But when I become king, I will come and collect you. Ne baddukira bulingo gwe. When I was sacked from State House, and I was subject to humiliating articles in Book and the New Vision, at one time they said that the president has summoned my mother to witness a mental checkup. After delivering a committed service for 14 years, then I become a madman because somebody wanted to take a 5 billion. Naduka nazo mbona akanyuka akasasi.
Tuli kuba mission bava mu Rubiri ne Mwanga.
Mwanga yakyawanya aba mission bangirikanisi. Yategeera malisia. These people are malicious. In fact, when Mwanga was signing an agreement with the Carol Peters, the Anglican bishops raised their heads. This country is already under the British influence. You cannot sign another agreement. Mwanga yabaga repeat it, I slaughter you. Mbatemeko kati emitu. Mwanga hated the Anglican missionaries. That's why he surrendered this country to Germany. Ensi y'abakatoliki. Era Mwanga teyaddamu kuzanyiwa bukristaayo because of malice. But
lwaki yakiteeka ku Baanglican
anti bagamba kitaawe
nti oli bakubye butwa.
Like the way they did it to me. But mukozeranga me at night on that very day. This is malice. I don't believe in it. You have worked well for us. And in fact, I remember it was September. Mukoze sent me money for Christmas.
No, he knew you were going to grass,
when,
having lost a lucrative job.
No, I'm a rich man by Ugandan standards. Who has ever staged a long resistance wound like me? To stage a resistance, to nature to a cost of resistance. I can fight for another 10 years.
Another 10?
Yes. I have the cost of resistance.
Another 10 years?
If it was not Mukos, I was ready for another 10 years. To Babani no more and so on. A joke with the Mugwim. And to be never with day. We Jacob Guramusa was a Chokubi one and the Munity Dome one. But what's next? Option is 0. Option is 0. To the 0.
So Mwanga amaliza tuli ku Mwanga awo.
Ate nkubulira
amaliza.
Even when I was poisoned, was sent a doctor to find out. Ate samutegeera. Namutwala ebisinde. Neje ejambiye emitwe etu. nga ndi mudwali nimuga ovuddewo kubanga oyo gwe bayita Kanonite. I don't know her. Naye yalimba yakuba ewaffe essimu n'abagamba nti president has directed bamutwale ebweru nga Museveni tali mu ggwanga. Ate oyo Kanonite yankubirako essimu previously. Let us meet at Imbuya. Nemuga ku weekend. The weekend telephone calls are for love. Can you make love in a barracks? Do I know you?
Ogamba Kano.
Hey. Simumanyi. I don't know this woman.
You think weekend calls are for love?
For love.
Not business.
How can we make love in a barracks? I told her, why do you want me in a barracks?
Not again.
Simumanyi. I don't know this Kanonite. Naye Katonda yannyamba. The president gweyogera yali ayagala omukwasa COVID. Naye ne bamufumula. Toyina kyonkola n'oga nti ojja kumpona. Zino ebintu byewaffe. Ate ze nannyini kkanisa. Kati
so wakkiriza okusavinga muhoozi.
His voice is comparable to Lazarus. When Lazarus was in his grave and Jesus called his name out, amuzuukize kye nawulidde. And God has already sentenced to Lazarus to death, but his son resurrected Lazarus. I'm not a mulokole like them.
Epotu wakitegedde.
Yes.
Katonda yagamba Lazarus ennaku zo ziweddeyo n'amutta. Mutabani n'amuzuukiza.
Yes.
That's what you heard.
Yes.
You think Muhoozi can resurrect you?
Yes. At least even if I die, I rang my mother was happy. Even my family is happy.
That you're going to work for Mutabani atalina structure. Talina government.
Let me tell you.
Talina.
For you, read my book. Era mukozi yangambi. Nti, why don't you translate those proverbs you talk about in Kinyankole? I told you I wrote a book in Runyankole. And I translate in Runyankole. My proverbs. Why? Because for us who did the mass communication, we call them similes. Similes, you simplify for all educated people. Tibwemba njagala okwogerera mu bantu ba bulijjo. Byakulabirako kibyenkozesa. People used to come to me. Abenali mu besimbyewo banakati ffe tulondekani. Nimbuga, do you know that you choose every day? Are you aware that you choose every day? If you are constructing a road, okunayita emmotoka, oteekako nkoma oba calivate.
Caravans.
Kakati, can you be bold to buy enkoma?
No.
If you are ng'okomerera ennyumba yo, oteekako gasiya oba kalitunsi.
Kalitunsi.
Why? Can gasiya buy you?
No.
If you are fetubiyita binyeebwa mu mbiyita bitya?
Mayido.
Amayido. Ng'osekula amayido. Osokolya mu seffuliya oba mu kinu?
Mu kinu.
Can seffuliya buy you?
No. Teyina mugaso.
But when you are boiling them, what do you do?
Ate seffuliya ye boiling.
Kakati can ekinu buy you?
No.
So people make choices every day. The moment is that you don't understand the role of an MP. If you knew the role of an MP, never bajja 10, you choose the best.
Naye bw'oba tomanyi oddira enkoma n'otinda bw'ogenda okuyisa.
Parliament is for eloquence.
Bwogezi.
Informed. An MP must be able to talk. Teriyo mwazinyi kasiru. Kati gwe kwata kasiru wo omutwale mu parliament. Sikulinaako ttabu. Gwe mutwale. Matama buku ogwe mutwale wa. Yo Museveni aganti mundeeti abalambala. Yesebu katuleete abalambala. Naye abalambala tebamanyi nsi bw'etambula nga bakuleetera etteeka ly'abasiyazi bakusibeko ssente. But they are not informed. They don't know international trade. They don't know international trade. Nga balambala. Nga
baleeta ekintu.
Kale.
Kanjala tugenda empola. I want to go to
Abaganda abayigirize. Batya nnyo okuwasa baalooya qualified women. Bw'omuwasa oyo akubba. Gwe kwata kina kitudde kyo. Ekyamala omugigi. Twala tulabe. I don't quarrel.
Kubanga bapulida bakalubirira. Fura kinna kyejjwe.
Era bakugamba nti if education is expensive, try ignorance. Simple matter. Let me give you an example of how Muhoozi has done. Muhoozi musajja mugezi.
Madisa nzina yakatuka njagala kutegeera Muhoozi bwakubira essimu. Does he sound organized?
Yes,
because the picture here is
how can a general not organized?
Tweets z'abantu baba omusajja abeera ayina ebintu
tewali kye bavumye Muhoozi kye batavumanga ku Museveni. Teri kye bavumye. Anybody can criticize you. Any statement is criticizable. One day, nali mu press conference ne president ne kapiteni Butime nga badesigninze simbo ya NRM a bus. Omuvuka bali bamuyita Daniel Mugabe. I don't know where he is now. Yali mu mawulire. I don't know where he is. He used to come from Sembabule. Daniel Mugabe. He told the president, you have chosen that symbol of a bus. But we have a song, Bus Dunia. The bus is stationary. There is no Muslim in a bus. He looked at Butime, the designer. I said that any political symbol is criticized. Any political statement is criticized. You look at the symbols of political parties. The Democratic Party muyini gwenkumbi. But its enemies, the Kabaka Yeka people used to say, this is a feast. Echikonde kize kuba Kabaka. Deep was demonstrating that is a party for agriculture. This is a muyini.
Kuno muyini.
Hey. But this enemy says, enkumbi ezikabantu mutaka. Is intended is of burial, executive Kabaka. And we have a different inkumbi which women use.
Tetujogera ko tuli mu kisiibo.
Is it that way? Obalaba basajja babadepiti bawemuzi.
Nga babagamba.
Kati baleta UPC. DP bagitanga dini ya papa. Dobonkana party according to Mayanja, Abu Mayanja. But he joined the Democratic Party in 1980. Which I had criticized in the 60s. UPC, the United Protestants of Canterbury. A man is telling you, don't come here. Why do you join him?
Hey, stop,
don't come here.
That was the interpretation of the symbols.
But your brother said, clean leadership.
Clean leadership.
In 1966, when your brother faced a rebellion in the UPC, Mamujeko, Yagamba, I've ruled this country with clean hands, except my enemies don't see this. UPC.
That's clean hands.
Well, one said, he interpreted NRM, the National Rwandese Movement, was arrested immediately. Bamkwata. Sibuka was arrested. The National Rwandese Movement, NRM. Was arrested immediately and he was an old man.
Ewaffe bw'ogira bw'oti mbuno obugalo bubba mu nsawo bukozesebwa kubba.
Ate ffe tukuba nti njagala kyakubiri. Ate buwemula n'okuwemula.
Mirundi tonyiiza.
Anti buwemula n'okuwemula.
Nkulegedde ekintu butya.
Bubeera bumeka buli.
Mirundi.
Buli bubeera.
Mirundi obadde. Mirundi. Buli ondeka ekintu kye tukole. Ate nkati kino.
Eno yali Victory.
Kati kino ekitta ensekere.
Kino Victory kino. Victory.
Kyekyo.
Naye buno buwemula babutemako. Mu Buganda buwemula buno. Oba osaba kaboozi kasita okola.
Ate kino.
Ate ekisomero kyammwe ekigenda mu ttooyi.
Ate
Kasosa bakasoma.
Mirundi va kupata yange. Mirundi va kupata yange. Ate gwe kino ngata kyogera kecha. What does this mean?
Kino kyekibi. Omuzungu kasakola bwati. Kino. Kino okimanyi kino. Omuzungu nakola bwati.
Abavumi.
Abakuvumye.
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 Ekigambo kyesobola kwogera
kyabakuvumye. Naye kino. Andi Abaganda bakugamba.
Kino kitansekere.
Nti kale sajja. Litensekere ate likuba n'ennoga. Okuba ennoga lyeri kuŋŋanya enva mu sowaani bweri. Nati litanensekere.
Anti naye kitegeeza tubazabuza mabega. Tubazabuza mabega.
Tubazabuza mabega. Nti tweets za Muhoozi can be interpreted. In fact, over the weekend,
I was
watching my machines, on my machines. and I saw very important meetings. One, I was watching a professor, the one I quoted earlier, talking to a young man. The man raised 3 issues against him was, and this is arrogance. He should come into 031. Who are you? This is arrogant.
They are devising. It's a device. It's a device. Mohoz can take it or leave it.
This man should go home, to his home, and wrote, who are you? These are statements that annoy people. Who are you? To judge others, to tell you that he should come. That's rubbish. And he raises.
Who's going to vote for an angry man expressed in you?
He raises 3 issues. I saw an idiot in observe. Muhoz has avoided important media institutions like a CBS. You were stupid. Why? Do you know that Bobi Wine did receive when men wanted to grab Bobi Wine's land? What happened? Bobi Wine's supporters responded and abused the Kabaka and the Mengo. Did Bobi Wine rely on CBS? I saw an idiot in observe because they are bought. Did Museveni receive positive information, positive media in national television and his outlets? Didn't he win? What percentage of the Ugandan voters do you see?
Okolera muhozi okukwozaamu baakwoza okoledde mu 7 bakusole kati omwana akwozezaamu eyali akolera omukulu kati okolere mutabani.
Kankubuli what I know. Museveni is torn between his family era yakola ekyasobola. He gave me money, they grabbed it, but I'm a family man. Sente zange bakazibe Mirundi nga wali walowooza mbu wanoddayo lukuto him and kneel before him. I so much of these people
so you feel right okukwozaamu ne banyumunguza
ate nino omulimu
kati ogenda kukolera muhoozi
muhoozi namugambye nti omugomo omulungi ng'abadde katebe ne bamuyitayo omugagga munamuyita okukuba kumba abamusira obutagenda omugomo omulungi abadde atudde katebe Museveni yampadde ki mu 10 years nalaba bakusasira nga batwala
natalaba ekitiibwa kyokubanga wali presidential secretary kati oli
mwana wange kati ngenda na mu parliament
muli ku level ne muhoozi you are all presidential advisors you are going to be employed by presidential advisors
ekyange tekiriiyo
kati ogenda kola presidential advisors
kugambye ekyange tekiriiyo nze nasoma propaganda waliwo holding appointments. Do you believe, let me tell you Mwanga, do you find any presidential advisor monsi yonna nga salary eri 1.7 zirimu $1 mmeka? Are you telling me?
Dola ziringa binamu. Dola bina.
The presidential advisor go wawa. Go wawa. Where telling me?
The big story.
Presidential advisor wawa. How many times have you seen him?
TV program The Big Story. Joseph Tamale Mirundi.
Tamale Mirundi. I was explaining.
Yagenda kukolera muhoozi. Tafayo kumwozaamu. Yakolera omukulu n'agwa. Bamugobanga embwa. Family yamugobanga embwa. Yagala okuddamu atokolera era akkiriza.
Oli yali anoonya bibye. Yali alowooza ndi mwangu. Batumana mujoga. Humiliate him. Humble him. Throw him on Kasasira and he comes back.
By the way Mirundi loli kitegera nti ebintu ebyo bya bulimba omusajja oyo buli amboza kanti sibimanyi nako omusajja byansibako sibimanyanga nako sabirina omusajja yeganye Mirundi gyonna
no it was a strategy bategeera nawandika ebitabo bingi it was a strategy tebali bamanyi character yange gye bali tebamanyi many people don't know nobody expected me to stage a resistance against humiliation.
Neyo manyo bulumbo bana bongo oliko yetabifaako nga go ino obulumi go ino obusu yetabifanako is progressing ali mu kugaggawala akola bibi and you have stress there
bagaggawale but I can't be humiliated tosobola bunjoga tetudingana umusimu kabuli ne muggulu bulimbwe bano nakulwaya
kati bulijjo
abamini tebali so let me explain to you
ogenda kola ne bara mu kyenja agala okutegera ko kati je walaza nti bara mu jja
ateze mbere mu meeting I'm going to tell you, I'm a runner player.
onakola otya nga tugenda mu meeting zaamu
nze waliwo besikola nabo
ekyo mukozi wa kimugambye
nze mwerona play nti call me in a meeting kwabo bemanyi ate oba nagaana okugenda ku organizing committee nga kuliko kiwanuka ne Kalugire nga Kalugire ye bamuwa sente ze zange n'aziremesa
ne kati mukama we balamu ye mukama we yakulira ebiri eyo wayingidde de
ekitimba nze bw'ataali mpadde ate agenda kunteekayo agenda kundaba mu meeting give me my facilitation a budget but I don't work in a group
balamu olusamo n'olu groups ezikola bakuwa instruction
era kyadde kigambye akamwe tusajja gwe omara okulya sente mbw apologize tell your mother to apologize eyo strategy ngimanyi era bagenda ne baka tumutudde ku kakiiko ngende ku NBS
ne kati muhoza agenda basobola atya gwe oli ku bibyo balamu ali ku bibyo you are supposed to come together as a group omusajja muli namu obuzibu obba managing
they will never see me in a meeting
then you refuse the job
andi nkubulidde
we can't operate without meetings
nze nkubulidde me the way you operate is different I present to you what I want and I know ndaba mwenda akibagamba nnyo the concept they agree on the concept we don't need to be in the same meeting they agree on the concept what the concept market the concept me to sit with the Baram the people cannot sit with them Kabanda they sit with Kabanda you were joking
but you are his deputy
I think
you are deputy to Kabanda
let me tell you the way you operate I operate is different see go on pardon you don't know what we talked kakati ekyo kiveeko
the big story ne Joseph Tamale
ndeyo kukola na muntu wansi wa muntu mubulamu
kadde tomanyi mulimu gwakkiriza you know it is possible to accept a job without knowing what to do
he knows me because I don't just see me he knows me people know my character he knows me
will he manage you because I'm surprised jakuvayo tandiko mugamba nga bogamba omukulu you said you regret the day you went to work for Museveni
who can manage me that Mirundi is manageable waliwo abakazi abatafumbirwa nze when we are working together omutwe gwange nguwako kwota I rent my head sigukuwa gonna we have areas where I agree and about Mirundi is not reliable. I'm a very reliable person. But the moment we agree, what we want is to make him president. We can use different methods, but as long as the goal is not undermined. We can be omusajja eyatola Khomeini yali bweru France nga weereza tapes recorded tapes teyasula government ya Kabaka mu Iran. Do you need it to be in one meeting? When Museveni went to 81, 83 to Tripoli, yagamba Gaddafi, let us be separated. Kayiro lwakwata ku mundu ye bazi mu bbako. Yagamba what if we are infiltrated? Tinzasobola kutuula nabo. Bimanyi abali sente ku recording zange ngamba yina. Abali wano na wano nange ntuulemu. Nti I can have a meeting nga bannamwe bali.
So genda kutandikawo office eyiyo tusabe emirimu
if we agree kubanga nze bw'ataali mpadde waliwo omukazi nga
waliwo atandika dokkola
yes ate nga talina kyampa nkubye obukofiira
kumanya takumanya n'omusajja simumanyi simusinkana
one of the reasons you should support something must be a selfish reason nti even if I'm not in government I have nkusobola okukola ebyange.
But you see, my good friend Tamale Mirundi appointed our spokesperson in Uganda.
And agreed.
I haven't been able to find him. So all of you tell him that he has been appointed in absentia.
I had a voice
on March 30th.
To those of Lazarus, when Lazarus had Jesus' name, calling him out of his grave, I'm out of the political limbo. That's what you
think.
You know the problem. I was watching a meeting between the professor and somebody. The professor able to explain to this young man his opposition to Muhoozi. One is saying he should come to 231. you don't dictate on him. That's arrogance. You cannot dictate on somebody. That's why we have a menu in the hotels. That's one. Muhozi has his programs, you also have yours. The other time you were saying to Museveni Akoye, today you want him buying time. It's a strategy. You buy time. Mu politics batugamba. Soccer and politics are dangerous games where extra time is dangerous. If Muhozi believes in the olwalira akawangula, tujja mugamba kirala.
Ekitasoboka nawo okimanyi.
Agenda bawangula.
Tekisoboka.
Kakati that's one. Embaga ya kato ne waswa omubu aganda endala ebeerawo, depending on what you want. The second point is saying, what precedent are we creating? If every senior army officer emulates what Muhozi is doing and does the same, how will UPDF discipline be affected? The professor failed to answer adequately. Let him help with the professor. Analyze to situation evaluation. He quoted Tinyefunza and quoted Besigye. At that time, the NRM was operating in the movement system. And how could they instill discipline in the movement system? They created a code of ethics rotating around two principles: right forum and wrong forum. The Besigyes and the Tinyefunzas were not charged or harassed, as he says, because of
what they say.
The agitation. The issue was right forum and wrong forum. Today, under the prevailing dispensation, political dispensation, in a multi-party system, you cannot have a wrong forum
and the right forum. There's only one.
Some of us has come at a time when this is what you see. When was studying a Twitter defamation in Mawulire, what is defamatory today cannot be defamatory tomorrow. Ntibali teteka lya secretariat bill to protect the Banyarwanda in the army. Today, omuntu akugamba ndetera omunyarwanda angulire be bayina sente.
So you cannot accuse him of sexuality. Yes,
ekigambo dogo kyakubola okukola ki?
Kya kitiibwa kati.
Nakula mmanyi nti ye Kasumba. He changed his name to Gasumba. Why? Is no longer stigmatizing okukwita omunyarwanda.
So naddayo ku linnya ly'ettuufu.
Abavandumu. Ate mu lunyarwanda abavandumu tekiriimu. Abavandumu kitegeeza abaana abava mu nnyina omu. Abavandumu tekiriiyo. Balina Abahutu, balina Abatuusi.
Kati wakanya Gashumba Omunalwanda.
Anti kugamba
abavanatiriza abana abende.
Is now pride. Kugamba kitawe wakasumba yakola mu Nyarwanda. Ng'asobola n'okikkiriza. Waliwo omusajja nga bamuyita Gonde. Nga bamuyita Ngane. Kirenga mu 60s yeetuuma Sserwadda. N'agenda ku scholarship ya Buganda nga ye Sserwadda. N'awasa n'omukazi Muganda. Mu nkaaga baakubwa Kabaka n'addayo ku Kirenga mutabani wa Ndazibonye. Yaliko ne minister wano waliwo mulengane Kirenga. Kirenga w'Emityana. Yali Sserwadda mu myaka gy'enkaaga. Yasoma ye Sserwadda. Obwakabaka bwe baabukuba n'agoba omukazi Omuganda. N'awasa omunyalo n'addayo ku Kirenga mutabani wa Ndazibonye. Kakati what I'm telling you, the situation changes. What is defamatory today? By the time the messages came, the Tinyefunzas came, basangawo situation dictated role. He was arguing, what if they do it? But Muhozi is not an ordinary general. He's the son of commander-in-chief with other assignments. If the other generals share these privileges, let them do it. Omukisa gw'embwa teguyisa mbuzi mmalagala. Okutegedde? What was his third point?
Yono kyenneewuunya. Kwogerera mutabani wa Museveni mu Buganda. Naye nga wali Omuganda munno Kyagulanyi bannayuganda gwe baakawaako obuweerera ddala gw'omanyi. Olwedde yatandika n'okulimako ku lugendo.
Kankubuulire.
Kifo ky'okuwagira atera okumaliriza.
Nkugamba bulijjo
okulima.
Olugulidde ku pata. Nkugamba bulijjo. Ne nkugamba. Gonde. They even hired Kenyans. Kenyans were hosted for 2 weeks, for 2 days in a Kampala hotel. They were recruited to tweet from Kenya to provoke Muhozi into battle. And to manage Muhozi, a Kenya biochane FG. Yes. How can this man, the man who belittles everybody, abuse the Kenyan soldiers, he does what? But do we decide, Abe Kenya Bavumako, Urutonti Atutenalian uniform? Every country has interest to pursue. We are not electing a East African leader. In fact, for us, they tell us in political science, Omukulembeze byayogera for domestic consumption, tetubibala. Buli musajja yenna abaana be nti w'amaanyi. Domestic consumption, yes. When it comes to an international forum, this is when it takes things seriously. Niyo muntu byayogera, yes, you can gundi abantu bo. No, I'm talking now to the Ugandan audience. What do Ugandans want? They want a strong leader. A strong leader can protect their interests in a fragile region like ours. We say region. So kugenda kanga nti a diplomat. The work of a diplomat.
Mr. Spokesperson, MK spokesperson today ku kyetwagambye.
Soma Bobi Wine lwaki siwagira Bobi Wine. Soma one. Nawandika Bobi Wine kataba nokalaba. Bobi Wine and the story of Kasoveza. Nakuga nti Bobi Wine mubbi wa munju. Bobi Wine mubbi wa mu nyumba. Bobi Wine bwe bamwerezera naye n'abaddukako era bamukuba nnyo emiggo kulya ssente zaabwe. Goloza Bobi Wine lwaki Basegirinya tabaagala? Ayina bambeka be munda. Era nabagamba nti Bobi Wine ababuulire. Bobi Wine Mayinja bwe yagenda nadda. Bobi Wine bamuweereza message ku ssimu ye. Mayinja has been recruited to spy on you. Bobi Wine receives. Bobi Wine ayina briefing gyafuna mu security agencies.
Kumutegeeza bigenda mu maaso.
Bobi Wine namukubira essimu ne mugamba nti muganda wange togenda Kayunga bagenda kuttirayo. Bobi Wine told me I already know. Ningwira Bobi Wine muganda Bobi Wine nti omanyi nti Museveni si yakuba nanga nti Museveni si yankuba naye ba mafia be bankuba.
Nga naye akimanyi.
Bobi Wine ali very informed.
So Bobi Wine is your friend. Mukubiragana n'amasimu.
Era Bobi Wine tasobola kunsimba ku muntu.
Ne mukubiragana n'amasimu.
Bange naye bagamba nti bano baana ba mukwano gwaffe. Gundi ye yakola ki? Mpuuga ye lwanyisanga omwana wange. Bobi Wine kan yenda kwesimba ku baka parliament. Bobi Wine cannot sponsor candidates against me. Why? I'm doing more opposition work than they.
Lwaki tewasigadde naye ate nodda mu baakujooga. Nze
nakugambye oyina factory y'amataffaali oleeta kali ku mubiri keetike gundi tanuulu. I know what Bobi Wine want. One, Bobi Wine will resign Uganda. If I don't come in, we shall share. That one I know. Two, Bobi Wine will remain strong. Why? Whoever who is sponsored against Bobi Wine, nebo aba mutuufu bagamba amuguze. Bobi Wine has maintained himself. Taguliddwa. I studied Bobi Wine. I studied him. The only thing about Bobi Wine bibi nalumansi. Atandika kuwandikira balala. To graduate from nalumansi. There are things bitwali twagala ennyo. Tekakati nawe wali yako kubumba bw'enkoko. Kakati tubulya twekwese mu hoteli. Abaana bakulaba batanga nawe oli obubumba bw'enkoko. So Bobi Wine must graduate. This is not Jamaica. But I know why. The government has not done anything to bring Uganda back.
Nga Museveni yakyalunda enteze. Oli mulunzo no muyimbi buli mwakyakola buli mwasigale ku mulimu. Museveni
yajjamu essati
oli munnamawulire bwagwa mu State House tosigadde ku mulimu gwo.
Muganti by'okuyimba kako bono mpenko ni no. This is not Jamaica.
Ati guno mulimu gwe. Ne Museveni mulaalo yatagenda mu nteze tumula buli jonga agenda mu.
President ba America yali mutunzi wa kyalaani. That's why the American government ewa president wa yamasuuti 365 eya bamugana okuddamu okutunga bwe yeetunga engalo. Tubayita ba handlers How many times did you see Bundi?
The question you're not answering. Mulimunda mawulire. Museveni yakugoba osigadde ku mulimu gwo. Lwaki ye Bobi Wine yalivudde ku mulimu gwe naye gwe yasoma gwe okuva makere wa MDD tebe atamumanyi yasoma kuyimba kuzina na katemba.
Lwaki oyina okubeera ne bahandlers. Mu Uganda temuli balina bahandlers. An advisor and a handler are different. A handler can tell you you sat to jambala. Mikwano gyabo bafeeko. Oba otaddemu tojja ku TV. Gwoli mukazi mubi tojjawa. Gwe mu press conference tojja. Batunulya bubiibu. They are taken gweyisanga press release. That's a handler. A handler, an advisor, I don't need to take your advice. In Uganda, an advisor's role is one to give you a tag. No opposition group can accept you. They give you a political tag. That's not sustainable. Ekyokubiri, welfare. Funako wotula nawe. Nibabira na go fish aga nini. Nalabanga mukwano gwange yibembe. Personal assistant what we are fumuka emisinde nga bamunonya.
Dr. Ibembe ali bulungi tayina buzibu
yadduka nenge bibyo nana biwandika kodda kakati Bobi Wine muwandikako wano ti Bobi Wine was brought by the mafias
kale ne bawa yaleta mafia naye yabagejjera yafuuka mu katunula kyaleero biri ebyemabega tutunula kati yagejja tebakyamusobola yes kitereze takyali oli togera
kuwandika mu kitabo kyange kino nkubuulira ti Bobi Wine bamwereetera n'abaddukako yabagejjera yes munene tebakyamusobola ate bwe batamanyi
era nawe ensobi gye wakoze kwe kuleka ku muntu anaatera okutuuka n'ogenda kwatandika
bwe batamanyi kiri bwe kiti nti Bobi Wine bamwagala nnyo aba security kubalirira omulambo tebagujja mu nnyanja.
The big story. Joseph Tamale. Let's have a short break. We'll be right back. Baba TV program The Big Story ne Joseph Tamale Mirundi tubadde tumaliriza atugenda kusabiranga omwogezi wa mwami Muhoozi mu Buganda.
Nawandiika akatabo kano Mafia, Understanding Mafia Politics.
Ate ndawombi ya mipiira Sekafa. Ate Mafia ne Sekafa
byonna byanalyzing.
Kuno wandika kuno mupiira Sekafa nambo atugamba Mafia Politics.
Nakakuwandiikira ddi kakulaga lwe nakawandiika kubanga nze nkubulira nti ennaku zino nze neesiimye nnyo nti whatever I wrote byonna mbirabyeko. And when I analyze bo baali balowooza nti they can suffocate me into submission. Me to suffocate me. Galileo yagamba nti ensi yeetooloola. Papa n'agamba bamusaleko omutwe. Pope John apologized on behalf of the Catholic Church. Who is more known? Galileo or Papa? Me, when it comes to knowledge or information, like I don't bend even an inch. A real professor of psychology abagamba, even if you dangle money to that man, he will not bend an inch. That man likes his dignity. Who you professor? But I don't know him. I've never seen him, but he's a highly intelligent man and he talks nicely about me. He agrees that I'm also intelligent. These are some of the people the president would use.
Who is that professor?
He's a professor of psychology. Netalabika. But he's highly intelligent. The people have good ideas. Uncle Sam, the professor, and Mwenda. Mwenda is doing almost 80%.
Who is Uncle Sam?
They know him. Never nabali arrogant. Sebalaba gundi yabwe nga boogera bali mbalaba mba watching whenever you watch these people sebalaba mu so much sense. They have exaggerated intelligence. Kati nakuwandikira wano nti take for example Nambole, we are talking about Nambole. Namuwandika kodda Nambole. Omanyi balowooza nti by this time bebajja okuba mu power. In fact, what they are doing today, okukwata abo bagitutu, is better. If your mother, biological mother, denies you food because of indiscipline, what will the stepmom do to you? Let them try themselves before a wholesale government comes. Yes. What they are doing is okay. You will get, once you are tied, you are
try themselves
under their government.
A hostile
before a hostile government comes. And I want to tell you, as a political scientist, when a government, any other government that comes to power will deal with corruption. Why? To change a country's wound, economic, abantu bafune ku sente bakolechi, it can take 10 years. Because the way a modern state is governed is the way Museveni governs it. His problem is corruption. 2, abantu kasobola bakuba kitutwabo nga babakubeka bangali abayite bagambwako tubayita ba political orphans of the former regime. A new regime,
orphans,
we call them orphans of the old regime.
Bakaono.
Either the government is cleaning itself for future election, or Museveni is coming back, or somebody is doing this. Because a scandal is pulled up by a punishment. Power. Today, Baba could be a boost. Somebody who's going to succeed in Museveni is not among themselves. Elimination.
You want to claim that you know Museveni's success?
And yes.
You want to claim you know?
And let me tell you, what are the catchment areas of a success? Uzman?
Tell me.
The first family gets a priority.
Yes.
The opposition can produce.
Yes. The
president can also rebrand the former adversary.
Is it possible?
And the catchment areas of a successor. You can imagine from a political party like Chama Chamapindu, generally Mutekisobol, Tina political party. To us, what I could imagine.
So what is NRM?
The political party NRM is the way the president is operating. The government omutitizi yakuma power. Kati Museveni yasiba party. Nti wa secretary general yabutta. Tadongo is not Mbabazi.
Is not Mbabazi. So kali bagenda ngabo nakalulu.
Bwale tobuzibu nabukola ki? Nabukula mu amanyi. Oba prime minister nabukula mu amanyi. Si yani. Si Rugunda. Si Mbabazi. Nadira wa vice president.
Njalo wa prime minister.
Next in line. Nabukula mu amanyi. Why? Constitution to ya vice president is an executive messenger of the president. Why? Abatula mu CA but of vice president. Never bukula mu amanyi. A vice president ayina mulimu mu constitution.
Gomulabanga messenger.
He is an executive messenger of the president. Asoma kiwandiiko ki?
Messenger.
Yes. Anti ennaku zino tulina police language. Osanga tukyayogera kawusigala. My domestic assistant. A toilet where you don't want even to spend a lot of time, except you when you have a running stomach. The resting room. A toilet is a resting room.
My resting room.
To cheat police language.
So in the police language, the vice president is merely a messenger.
Mu constitution temuli mulimu. Teina mulimu gwonna mu constitution. And in another arrangement, if the president is incapacitated, the vice president takes over for 90 days. And in the case of NRM, the delegates conference is convened and select one who can carry Rubengo. It's not automatic. 90 days. See Tanzania.
This
is not a vice president for continuity. We have a vice president for continuity, tuyina deputy president, tuyina gwe tuyita an assistant minister, deputy minister, and the minister of state. Temubimanyi, musomero mwavaayo mangu. Mwana mutwebuuzengako ffe abattabuuku. Ffe twattabuuku. Mutwebuuzengako ffe abattabuuku. Temubimanyi.
You can be an assistant
minister. President Museveni is naawe we yajja wano. Prime Minister Zenawi of Ethiopia, the late one, yagamba ababaka ba parliament, don't undermine my visa because you hear Prime Minister. This is not Kintu Secretary. Mu parliament.
Na yachi mani. Ntieno baluni omutali gune.
Atuchita hybrid. Museveni yatambulira ku hybrid mu modernity twina hybrid.
Yamanya ntibajja mtu walango wawa no ataina
hybrid tote Prime Minister ataina executive powers ekyo tuchita hybrid. Ojeno no jeno. The Prime Minister is head of government business.
Not from between maleta yafuna mukamaleta yatuoleza mukamaleta.
It's a hybrid. Mu political science Ggwanga tutambulira ko hybrid. Especially where you don't have a strong opposition.
Yabera antemaleto. You mix system enchotala erimu eno iliao.
Sibotaje study nga bulungi togikolaje. Tosobola gitegeera. Era kakati ekizibu kye bayina mu parliament. Nti baddira obuwa ye ne bamujjayo. Why do you remove me when you have a major project? Mumulye sente bulabo obuwa akola.
Obuwa Hamson.
Tibamujja nebatwalayo Ggwanga.
Nebamuwa ekifo ekisinga obunene.
Money. You have a mega project. Ya Nambole. Onzongobeyo. Mbwa. Onatute 5 billion embwa mukajuke kasasiro. Ani atategeera. Ani musiro. Oya ne government. Bulabo obuwa akola. Bulabo obuwa akola. Yetategeera.
Kucha Minister of State for Sports. Ne Chief Government Chief Ibolako Chiro.
Kuchi ku mega project. Era ono namaro kulyo sente Ggwanga nga bamutwala ewalala. You think other people don't sit down. Omwana ye n'omugezi w'omutegeerya nze wentegeerya bazzukulu bange muwesi mungende namu nenji mujjako ne muwe ekifu bw'atakabira eno manya ali bamusiru. Nti Ggwanga omugjeeyo kuba aliyo mega project yona alibeera kondemudi yejja kubeera kondemudi mu bwavu yobu alibeera mwavu yoba mujjalo ne batwala 5 billion mbwa ne bagikonya. How long will take me when I get 1.7 to get the 5 billion you have taken? When I leave you power any money. Am I a fool? You think I'm a fool? Mirundi yalianza de komwana musiru. Wofe tebali basiru. Natasoma afera. Karakita yewo febweri. I analyze evaluate. Is it color or substance? Mpita musiru. Katika soma Nambole huyu. 2:11 musoma olabe.
Kati Nambole ajira wa mu byetu.
Ate sibe tuli mukati.
Byemiza.
Byemiza nyo Nambole.
Nabyo bimanyi.
Anti na wandika akatabo kano kalaba. Uganda soka kano kalaba.
Omulangira kwata akatabo.
Akatabo kano kalaba.
Soka.
Lawrence Mulindwa yangulire emotoka ne wakabweri. A brand new Legious car. Na wandika akatabo kano kaba muri bubi.
This is Uganda soccer.
Yes.
Love and money game of politics.
Kano. Yes.
Nebyemiza nabo biwandika ko.
Fe twakitanga all around. Twasokanga mu court. Era nkubulira ne gamba mu katabo muno. Nti ba dictators bayagalanga nnyo ebyemizannyo. Why? It was not one of the areas where they could challenges. Era bwe twatambulanga ebweru wewe unafanya kazi yako nina. Me muandishi wa gazeti na. Gazeti ya michezo. Where enter. You were fool. Aba dictator bonna bayinvestinga mu sport. Amini yaleta ko wan Muhammad Ali. Ndaba nabawandika ku Amini. Nawandika ekitabo. Ndaba ababokeni. The good side of Idi Amin. Idi Amin byakola ndo musobola bikola. Idi Amin yagala sports. Why? Is when you have a dictatorship is only through sports that you want national anthem. Bwebera ngabaji okujiyimba kuki. Iwalala.
Kwa hiyo sports tayawula. Ne mama dictator emizanyo sira gigenda maso.
Dictator yakola sport si. Inseri mu ba dictators mu battle process. How many times has South Korea appeared in the World Cup? Nti ye uno musajja police wa Saudi Arabia abadde problems. Ne bwabo mupira gwa Argentina yagugula. Abazanyi ba Argentina ne balya. Yekifunyemu era yalangire ennaku ezi. Iran yakubako America mu World Cup. Ennaku ezi kuba tegikubangako walala. Iran can only defeat America mu sport simoka goals abarenjinga America ezanye ne Iran bali basiru and eventually bagenda mu peace talks neba nabatamenye sport siba bano bote bamenye buli kimucha kulya buli kimucha era one of the areas I'm proposing to Muhoozi Cup 2 Muhoozi can take over as a patron of Simba FC eyamaji kawoya bakawoya ngamanyi gabayino yito yo kamanyi ali akajewo Moses Sali ba
yagala ate kuleta byabufuzi mu byamizanyo bya
National Council of Sports baji wa Moses Sali n'atamuza timu ye Ggwanga ba mujjawo no mujjawo sebana ni ba mujjawo sport so muzanyisa Rwejima yali amanyidwa lwaki muvira baiti bamenye timu nya Rwanda nenga Rwejima bwa yingira mu kisawe ndulu ezivugo zimanyi bana wote batayi nacho bataba necho tibakimanyi no ne sports ba mubba kati soma Nambole bonofuna budde ngenda kusomera muno nkulage
kyentidde olabika atoyagala ebyemizanyo ate obigate mu byobufuzi otutabulira ebintu manyifu mu byemizanyo gye tuwumulirako eno biridda naye ye tubadde tulaga kati ate bino byoleeta okay
soma ku Nambole.
Take the example of Nambole Estates. Early last year 2012 gye wali otegeeza land grabbers plotted to steal it. It is a prime land of 2 square miles in the metropolitan city. It also has a stone quarry with high quality stones. Through the so-called privatization units, the grabbers pretended that they were interested in refurbishing Mandela National Stadium, Nambole, and to make it profitable. Just the usual tricks they play before grabbing a property.
Baga together for factory footing in Nambole. And I'm not surprised that Mukula features in Nambole. Baga mambo factory foot. Nambole is sitting on a 2 square mile land bought by government. Abachina batulimba. Abachina batuganda tugenda bakolera ekisawo ekyo holding all African games. Bakola ko half.
It was supposed to be the whole of.
Yes.
Ategana amayinja kuga nti there is a
stone quarry. Yamanyi nye aliwo n'omusajja tebamusasula bamugoba bukobi.
Stone quarry.
Bayina stone quarry eryawe Nambole. Amayinja gali unique. Abachina bagamba.
They quickly raised the shilling 300 million and shilling 3 billion was put at stake. The stadium management received a manager from the privatization unit, apparently fronted by the grabbers to apply mafia politics by hoodwinking Ugandans with fake stories. Newspapers were hired to publish negative articles about Nambole. Graphics were published but to only show the stadium and not the whole 2 square miles. The way things operate these days, once you welcome privatization units, in your place, it opens out a floodgate for the grabbing exercise. It is not surprising that Pioneer Bus Company owners rented space at Nambole. This is how mafias work. In case of grabbing such a company, will claim right of the first priority over that space and more. They will parade themselves as the current users. Mafia politics survives on deception and lies. However, the lies must be well packaged. The thieves must be wrapped in a sheep's skin. They should be seen by the public as if their intention is intended to make the project better for the benefit of all Ugandans. These thieves are like a medical doctor who practices cannibalism. He is not easy to detect. During the recent East and Central Africa Challenge Cup, Sekafa, the thieves took advantage of the water-lodged Nambole to advance the argument that there was need for a private unit intervention. However, those using mafia politics don't reveal these factors. How did it come that all participating teams in the Sekafa tournament were hosted at Nambole? What happened to the other stadia like Kacheka, Mbale, and Bugembe? What authorities like State Minister Kajara don't appreciate is that this tournament did not start yesterday. Uganda has been hosting it for many years. In fact, in the early 80s, Mono newspaper hosted it. In those dark days, teams were divided to make the tournament accessible and enjoyable to many Ugandans. This is why strong teams went to Mbale and other places. What happened to this regional stadium, Mr. Kajala, before you moved to Nambole? You are now asking Kajala, then he's no longer a minister. Why don't you extend those? Ggwanga, okay. Yes. Why don't you extend
what happened to others?
To Bugembe, to Kacheka, to the rest.
Twayina Bugembe, twayina Mbale.
Erange mpira gyetolola bwe
gyetolola waliwo baatu
buli omu nafuna
kubenna kivubo. Kenya yatukubenna kivubo. Twagenda Mbale nga segundi. Kenya nesikala wano. Ngembale eriyo ekisaawe. Ekacheka eriyo ekisaawe. Nga gundi. Emipira
gyachamulanganya ekirunga gireta ku sente ekitundu era Bugembe babanga omupira.
Awe rugo waliwo ebisaawe ebi. But ate mwana Museveni musambi wa mupiira.
Naye kati otegedde kye nagambye kino bwe kiti titudda budda mabega wakitegedde mutuzza buzza mabega kale katwongera okusoma. What happened to this regional stadium?
Mabega tuyina yagenda okusindika emmotoka ekomewo.
Maybe.
Maybe. Obusuma n'obujozi.
Maybe.
Bayina ebizibu ebi. Obusuma n'obujozi. Obusuma n'obutagala ggwanga.
In fact, Mirundi, Muhoozi oba president wa Uganda okumwanguyira nga abwagala ne bwayogera ku nsonga eyo
busuma
tinja kukola ku gabbi tetwagala kumanya birala. My father taught me this, tuli bachuzi simanyi abakyala bo
ababbi basatu ogwanga n'omutwale ekumi ewaabo n'omusiba ku kikugundi ku pipa kono n'omupiira buli mubbi adduka toddayo kulaba ku mubbi wano. Andi fe batugamba nga mbuto nti enkofu 10 zaali ku muti bakubako emukwasigala mmeka
ate kusigala
ansi ojola y'omubbi baba kofi mu mabaati cemetery yawa the cemetery of shame Karamoja noli nsalo n'ogigala endulu nezivuga mugalama eribbi nti eryo balijjeewa namagandi mujja kulaba abasajja nga bakutte ente ennume ziseddume akutte maye bantuka
short break
omu n'okufundiriza kakuba amasasi mu lujjudde ako kugwanga 10 kasiba ku pipa mukula tasula wano bonna ababbi baba badduse edda bali mu Nambole tolabayo n'omu babaduse
nekale ababbi babatya mu Nambole nga
wonna webali
ekikola
rolling ya
Museveni yakijja ko UPDF yali mu kuzimba Nambole yali mu kundabiriza yakijjamu yaloza nti tenders bana bakonda tabira mu kati UPDF ate baba bana
the main issue in Nambole is not fencing it, is the land it owns. The land it owns.
Wali wali agala
anti nkugambye Nambole is sitting on a 2 square mile land bought by government. Have you verified? Ensalo zikoleddwa okukizuula. Nambole wayitira.
Era bano abazimbye ekikomera bazimbira ddala paka.
Babuuze nze mbabuulire ekyapa mamanyi we kiri. You know the person who is holding it ekyapa.
Ekyapa kya Nambole? Abazimbe ekikomera tebamanyi kyapa.
Bamanyi ekyapa ettaka liyitawo basosedde surveying.
Beetoloozezza
nti bantu badda mu wotalogiti Nambole bakwata obwamawulire bwabwe ne bukwata graphics ttiimu zonna baziteeka wamu nga baagala okubba privatization unit. Soma tumale bwe tujja bakwata gwolooza bampa ebifo tebamanyi nti wano nze musajja alina data
munagamba mukwano gwange nti mukwano gwange design onokkiriza
mukulasirira Kenya kasategeera nti kano mukafunziza bakafunza nolaba abadduka bayiruka abasajja bagwire eyiranu nga bakutte seddume zente kuba yetatokota seddume yente tetokota nga naye walisa omukira endulu zivuga
oyinza okutambulira ku
ate oba ekyo ekiriwo kyokka sajja nakwata amayembe nze gamba abo bali mu palamenti nti muyambe muteekawo term limits. Omusajja ajja afuga emyaka 8. Ate Uganda erina kyeyetaaga ekinene nnyo. Uganda is an informal sector. tebaine kyo bakwagala ku two in a monarchical societies like Uganda omukulembeze oba alemera mu myaka emeka. We don't care about longevity.
Nebyo betusoma bikadde biri mu lesi
mu kubuulidde ekiva
yatubireke wano bikadde ye bino ati tusoma
anti kakati okitegedde nambole kakati kankulage lwaki omupiira gwammwe mufu nakugamba challenge ez'oku Uganda's football kati gundi yampa emmotoka kati ekyali weewaka motoka yange weerere situunda motoka ndagalanga bantu
oba yakuwa yaki kati n'ebyo okutono
nkulage challenge ez'oku Uganda football nti nazo zisobola okukolebwa toddamu balabako tebaddamu kubba watu Ggwanga n'omusiba ku pipa 10 buli omwadduka
tusoma katabo ka Joseph Tamale Mirundi kaita Uganda Soccer Love for Money Game or Politics. You understand? Ketusoma kamwaka guisewo ku 2012 agambye challenges of Uganda's football. Number 1, democracy.
Yes, dictators improve sports.
Previously, especially in the 70s and early 80s, Uganda was ruled by dictators, having destroyed everything the leaders spared soccer. This is because the African dictators did not consider sports as a serious social activity. And history had proved that sport does not produce political rivalries. What is more, African dictators did not have to organize free and fair regular elections faced with a specter of international isolation. However, they started investing in sports heavily, a sector believed not to breed leaders. Indeed, under dictatorships, the breathing spaces are usually sports and music. This partly explains why almost every Congolese is a musician. In Jamaica, reggae dance was developed by African slaves to remember their lands of ancestry. Therefore, African dictators invested heavily in both sports and music. There was a time Congolese music dominated the East and Central African countries because they were perceived to be politically innocent. All they sought in life was pomp and money, never political power. Late President Mobutu, for example, would renounce his cultural roots but did not detect any threat from the country's booming music industry. Late President Idi Amin could freely fly with the various national team leaders on the presidential plane without mutual suspicion. Given an opportunity, Amin never hesitated to identify with the boxers. In spite of his thirst for human blood, vampire, Amin killed, if any, very few sportsmen and musicians. He killed Kawalia for a play Oluyimba lwa Wankoko because he was wrongly informed that the artist portrayed him a worse man than Milton Obote, who had dropped the Baganda Cultural Foundation in outlawing traditional institutions. Amin perceived Obote the worst enemy for Uganda, an institution he betrayed after propelling him into power at independence. Amin also murdered Madina's boyfriend but did not ban the entire music team. This is why many Ugandans admire Amin's sports record. It's during his regime that Uganda excelled in sports, particularly boxing, athletics, and soccer. Uganda's last appearance in the Africa Cup of Nations was during Amin's time. This validates my argument of dictatorships' deep interest in sports, partially to force their respective national anthems played at international sports events. In democracies, however, priorities are pro-people development policies such as free education, free or cheap medical care, and peace. They starkly change. A democracy depends on what the majority want, which determines who emerged the winner from a democratic organized election. Many voters in Uganda prefer free education, medical care, markets for their products, and poverty reduction programs. Critical to note in a democracy is that both the social and economic activities are private sector driven, which covers sports as well. The government cannot contribute funds and policy guidance to sports managing organizations, but most investment into sports comes from the private sector. This explains why former Zambian President Mzee Kenneth Kaunda identified with the country's soccer team, the KK11. KK was an acronym for Kenneth Kaunda. Gaddafi invested in Italian football, and one of his sons was a soccer player. In many African dictatorships, presidents or their relatives took over management of sports associations. The real intention were obviously to ensure that no political rival emerged through the sports door. Today, the government wants the private sector to partly finance sports, which is in line with developed countries. Then we continue reading. Economic sense. That's the second challenge you identify. Soccer is no longer a mere pastime activity or for proverbial healthy mind lives in a healthy body undertaking. Unlike previously, today's soccer is real business. In fact, a professional soccer star in Europe and North America, even lately Mid-East and the Far East, earns more handsomely than any president, prime minister in a democracy. This tremendous transformation from a mere recreation to a business sense of the otherwise beautiful game of soccer has led to the following factors. 1. Hostilities. One African saying goes that ense gula mirambo. It is not an African saying, it is a saying by your boss. Why do you call it African?
Let me go for it. Somawa. Abalabe ba sports mu Uganda basingo usipa betting companies. Toyinza kudya abazanyi bali amenvu ku training. Nokiriza betting company. Bakola akadirisa.
Yes. Amawulire ne betting promote the sports. Ate kubaye balabe sports.
Balabe sports. Nti omuyindi agula timu ya mwene yeyawula. Nengo wakadirisa amazoko gasimanye ebigologolo, simanye ebyemfudu, simanye biki. Amini yali bawezi. Singo teriko dirisa wano. Sigane Premier League teriyo. Sigane mujirabo. Do you know the mubifo baragire ebyobuseebu? Do you hear people raping the women? Baba used. Kati after watching Premier League matches, ogwamwe tigugendako. Gubanga bisasiro. Amini nakwata bado simanye emfudu, simanye ebyemfudu biki, simanye ogwabugologolo biki. Byonna yali biwezi. Abo balaga Premier League amini yali biwezi until the time ngogwamwe guvudde. Negati okimanyi nti abagenda okulaba omupiira ate batwala ne TV ya Premier League. Ugandans console themselves nti ogwabwe gwafa. Naye benyumiriza mu twaguza omuzanyi gwakumanyi gwatali amere gwagula omuzanyi. Bekubira mugwe. Gwe gwatali amere kyobala abazungu batatenda okuga godulirwa ambassador. Godulirwa ambassador baleeta musambi wa mupiira ne baasama bagenda kumulaba. Kati mumuli captured. So kusome betting tugende. Amini yali biwezi. Wakagame jebiri. Ebya betting jebiri.
Mwagizi wa mani unengi tujevu na twaguza omuzanyi.
Mwaguza omuzanyi gwo mumanyi oli mukubirako ku jambo. Akumanyi batali anamere. Ebintu bimbuza bugasiya bichaku bimunne wacho musimanyi basimanyi Liverpool simanyi ani gasiya. Ebintu bimbuye na mungu. Niyo nanga babigambe gula mijozi. Ejamani bijigula. Twaguza omuzanyi. Awo buli omukochi no batunulya bana basipota abagwawo. Awo kyali koza kochi ate wali okuchinze kuliwa nogo omukyalo tukukochi nganga. Eya mutimu teyinaje. Ba coach abali wano. Buli everybody is a coach. Awo abadate kamugonde. Awo yabadate ngabwo tebakugulanga ko. Ogwamwe mufu mulaga gwaba namwe. Abagwagwa abawedde emirimu. Wa soma akatabo kano muwonge mulindo yangulya ne short break. Amini yayina ekintu mu propaganda tukita imperialism. Mu propaganda tukita imperialism. Imperialism omuntu akwata obwongo bona akuloza nti yeki kiki amagezi nnyo. Tukita imperialism mu propaganda. Kakati mwe consolinga. Mwe consolinga.
Gotaka kulya twakuzo. Femani twakuzo.
Ngatoli amere. Gwamani akumanya nokumanya gwe. Nogula omuzenyi gonde byekubira mu byekubengu byaga bachi. Terina abimanyi terina buli ayogera ku TV radio yenna coach. Abo abadde asooka mugonde ne wakuchinga buli wa eyamwenfu. Lwaki amagezi ge muteeka ku TV radio okubuli abakochi bali eyamwekoze iki. Nomulaba sobona eno olege ngalabije. Nalege ngalabi. Sejembeyi.
Ya micho.
Yeah, you don't see. Micha azina alanga mazi. oyo yalanga nazira olanga bikopo micho tumukubireko mu ngalo Uganda ekayiro alanga mazi bagayitani
mu center ya Uganda alanga mazi mfasho kulanga ebikopo
anyway when your soccer team loses the coach must suffer.
It is international rule.
But kutukayo twagenze mu Afcon kutukayo over performance
ndaba communication ya wano nalaba micho alanga mazina kuzina alinga alanga ekintu ky'amazina alanga mazi yetalanga bikopo alanga mazi yalanga mazi bakochi banne balanga bikopo yalanga mazi yalanga mazi dine Ggwanga lyetaaga kusabira kale media and sport betting influence.
Yes.
Unlike other media agencies, Uganda's Sport Journalists Association, WUSPA, is strong and cohesive. Thank you for appreciating that. It has ably resolved the sport and leadership wrangles. It is actually the kingmaker. WUSPA has survived for a long time and it influences sports leaders. A fallout with WUSPA spells doom for sports managers. Currently, WUSPA members seem divided on who to support. Fortunately, however, their differences are maintained outside their organization administration. It's important, however, that the national opposition divisive politics does not find its way into WUSPA, for it will definitely lead to disintegration of this highly disciplined sport agency. Another deadly group to our soccer comprised of the betting agencies. They are deadly everywhere they exist. Like scavengers, they don't find about the game. Their only motive is money. In developed countries, betting companies are under strict control. But gullible in societies like ours, they are not subject to strict monitoring. They can pocket everybody. Take, for example, some media outlets that run paid-for adverts. They promote these chance games 24/7 as if they are full-time employment. It is common for newspapers and FM radio stations to hire bet experts called akadirisa to guide on how to spot winning teams, which is a lie. How can a hyena become a market master? How can a bet company, which needs money, give accurate advice to those who want to win against it? This is gullibility of the highest order. Anybody who believes in this is a fool. How do you expect your co-wife, who doesn't want you to produce hair for the husband, identify a gynecologist for you to produce sons? Thus, wherever you find uncontrolled betting companies, football cannot grow. They are capable of influencing soccer results through fixing fixtures, buying off players and coaches. How much do our players earn as wages and allowances? What stakes do they have for the good of the game? How do we protect them from our competitors ahead of big matches? The same factors affecting sports management and players are prevalent among prominent coaches. They, coaches, have been cited in fixture scams at the expense of their teams. Now I know why Mulindo bought you, Eka. You deserved it. Your analysis is well qualified. It has even stood that you are talking about 20 years ago, but we are still right.
Soccer war, politics and business. A good coach is an army commander in an operation, the field commander. A field commander must have special forces who can penetrate enemy lines. Likewise, a coach must have special players that can penetrate the enemy's defense. A field commander is a coach. This is why nakugamba nti omusajja omugezi gwe nasinza okulaba mu Uganda ye yakugamba nti abaana mbasomesa eki. At one time wali tusobola kuyingira amagye ga America nga tomanyi chess. Ffe mu Baganda omweso mathematics.
Yes.
Tukutema tuyina akakyala.
Kikuyigiza okulizo.
Empiki bwezikwata tebakukkiriza kubala. Ate nokola gundi nakuga nti one of the names of the Kabaka of Uganda is Mutebi. You don't know it. Mutebi comes from Okutebuka, reverse. He must Kutebuka his enemies. That's why the meaning of the name Mutebi. Every Kabaka of Uganda has this name. Okutebuka Abalabebe. Okutebuka comes from Mumweso. As I'm moving towards this, then I calculate. I reverse. Okutebuka. We move on Mutebi. Yes. Kugamba. There are several similarities between soccer, war politics, and business. All the central concepts affecting millions of people. I often use similes to illustrate my point to ordinary folks. They are very strong communication words. They are words, nkubulia wandi, nti, angene nakada munga furumi, ngenda kada munga furumi, nti, a businessman, ayino kumanya, obasu, urabata kolachi. A medical doctor must know whether the person is cesarean, or operating, or normal delivery. Or normal delivery. Quick! Kakati, abazungu waliji baba singira chiri bwekiti. Nti omupiira bali bagubala. Tibwekuvana gulagawa. Wano. Gukusanga oba tikukusanga. Control the ball, dribble it, owawa na dimula yubudimunzi. Taina confidence. Mubatunuli. Omusambi wa Uganda bwakwata omupiira. Tasobola gusiba kumanya banne. Oba batambula. Tayina agamugisa gayina. Omuzungu stops it, controls it, dribbles it, and he knows which direction. Chobola nti abazungu babasali amagezi. Why is it that teams like Brazil tebatwala bikopo? Baddira mupiira ne bakola musaya siga kwa kusoma mu bitabo. Kati baddira abazanyi bano abava mu Brazil Argentina luddawa ne babateeka kuba aba Europe. Which means this is like a factory. Nti ekipa bweva wano ne bajoza ne bagikola kino bagisaanikira neraga mu box. Kakati ono bwadda yeewa omuzannyi ono gwabadde azannya naye nga tamulina talina coordination. He doesn't have the coordination. Tikasita ono omusajja owa Argentina bwejja mu Europe asamba kubanga ali coordinated. Tibo baguteeka mu kulubaawo ne bagusomesa. Tegukyali gwa kifuba n'ebikonde tebikyali. Amini yakuga nti obaba babba ngikole ekintu kimu kuba musajja knockout tulaba abazungu bwe babba. Nga banagiwakanya nti okubye knockout atandi anagiwakanya ebeera biddo buli omu agirabye se knockout tolina bw'otugaa nti. Nabaga nti Amini yatulanga Amini ye musajja akyasinze okwagala press unit ye. Amini used to sit with his press unit. Do you have a house? No, he gives you money. Amini kuyidi ku Christmas kuyisa kuki ngabawa abamu state house bonna. Sikuletera soda ababbi abaki bonna ngabawa. Buli omu n'amuwa. Amini is to travel with the press team. Munyonyi never supposed to atambula nabo. Amini yayina ne sente. There was a special fund by Idi Amin which used to be referred to as the money intended to host Uganda's flag abroad to buy prostitutes. Ngaweziri. Used to have a special fund kuba delegates be bagenze nabo to lift Uganda's flag abroad to buy prostitutes. Nenga botagula nonziria omubendekera. How do you raise a flag in a prostitute? Hey. How? Tulaba basajja bagadafi nga bazze wano. We bajjanga wano ngabama America nga banadokinga in Nairobi, in Mombasa, in the 70s, nga tell this Bhutan. Prostitutes used to come as far as Congo, DRC, Central Africa. Mwino okuleka wonga babategedde. Mwino okuleka nga bategedde. Never no neze wali fu no balenda tunulyanga museta busenenseka. Me I worked there because I had the money. Nga mugende bwero omuntu nakwata omukokoteni ogwa $5 naye nga akimanyidde ddala nti ku exchange rate bagenda bawalesi nti ennaku zirinya nti ebbiri mubeera mu nnyonyi. Nobody can work there. Vironzi bano nabatunulira nembaga nti these people are fighting me for nothing. Era ekyovola nti myaka 10 kyenfiiriddwa sina kyendagayo. No. The only thing I have is an absolute printing press I got from Museveni. A new one was frustrated. You munna kugamba. Nakano kwalibamba kalinga kajoka ikawolo. Basajja afa Abaganda tubiyita basajja bameketa. Fero ndo katika watu walitakajanga. Kalika bila new vision. Ndi kuonda kaze bunyuge tolikitegeera mwe. Basajja bameketa. Obukaze fa Abaganda tubiyita basajja bameketa. Bubanga bukaje bweka oluti mbasupu basajja bameketa. Kasa Muganda akugamba basajja Abaganda bagala kazigane one of the roles of the Baziba to Buganda ojimanyi. One of the roles of Baziba we had to fatten kabakazi women fiancés to fatten. Ile buli musajja Omuganda abeera n'omukazi omuyima. Abaganda erichi Muganda musave muyima woman. Do we have good luck? Bala birinde. Tolo Muganda waganti akuloze muyima. Do you know what it means? Omuganda kuganti akuloze muyima. Eddogo lya Abaganda likola enjuba evaayo obanga egolooba. Muyima woman will remember abakama. That's why Muganda tells you you are being bewitched by a muyima woman. Era Omuganda ganti nkwe. Omukazi omuyima kuna midde gwisanna bikambugo. Why are we having
the big story?
Why are we having
Tamale Mirundi?
Mukalicha yaffe.
Olwaliro bwetyo bwetumaliriza jagala okwebaza okubeera ku lutimbe
lwaffe. Azina mazina bali
ku mikutu.
Azina n'amazina yeetooloola. Talina kikopo ky'ateeta. N'alyoka ye si musajja muwanvu bw'ati n'alyoka azina n'amazzi. Yazina n'amazzi. Yazina n'amazzi mu kifo ky'ebikopo. Ab'amazzi mutuyambe mugakole mu kifaananyi ky'ekikopo. Yazina n'amazzi bw'ati. Yesu bazina n'amazzi kwegamba atayina mwana yazina na jinja. Tuyina kochi oye tuyina kochi bannange yazina n'amazzi atayina mwana yakwata jinja n'akyakala mu bwati n'akomawo n'ekipa y'amazzi tugende amini na